And then another one, she was like, "You're the best I've ever had, innit?" Bro, I'm a grown man. I'm just gonna say it, innit? Like YouTube, bun you, innit?
I knew this was not gonna last, man.
So basically,
I knew that. So, and listen, YouTube, free up the peas for the people who talk the real. You get me?
Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome to another episode of the Family Podcast with your two favorite brothers. My name is Sammy,
and my name is Don,
and welcome to the show.
What
are you saying,
bro? Good.
Yeah.
What are you telling me?
I'm good, bro.
All right, let's get into it.
I'm in high spirits. Okay. First of all, I need to shout out AU because he had his launch party. Sorry we couldn't make it, innit? Like the trains were moving crazy. Had a bunch of stuff on, so. Forgive us, innit? But it looked like it went well. Yeah. Respect to you. And Shannon, bring home that W.
Come on. So, you already know.
Yeah, just a few shout-outs.
Yeah. Come on, love that.
And then shout out the big homie Sway who reposted. Got me feeling like a superstar out here.
Come on.
Hey, we're coming.
You get me?
You get me?
Lucky man that have the Kente to do the little Kente dance. You get me?
Fam, you see me,
Yeah.
I'm going to buy one Cullinan and wrap it in Kente.
What? That's
bro!
Wild. Are you hearing this? You heard it here first, yeah. Sam gets a Cullinan and he said he's wrapping it in Kente. Shout out Atelier, innit?
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? You know where to go to get the A1 wrapping and that.
I hear you. So, okay. Bro, today we're talking on some touchy things, innit? We've been moonwalking through the, what's it called? The spicy topics, innit?
Okay.
But I felt like this one was good because of the interest of balance.
Okay.
Because we've done a few podcasts around, women making allegations against men.
Yeah.
And our views upon that, innit?
Yeah.
So I thought it was good to go the other way with the news that Chris Brown has put out into the stratosphere, innit?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go through the details. The little tiny details.
All right, let's
get it. We'll get into it. So basically, earlier this week, Chris Brown, who's a singer, I don't know if, unless you've been living under a rock,
Yeah, I was about to say, who don't know who Chris Brown is, bro? Do you know what I'm saying? But I hear you, some people may not know it.
Yeah. We international out here, baby.
Yeah, but you literally been living under a rock if you don't know who Chris Brown is.
Yeah. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. That one would be astonishing.
So basically, he was accused earlier on of, I don't want to say the word, innit? Because it's going to get us, penalized from YouTube, innit? But basically, the R word, yeah?
Oh, you actually wouldn't? All right, fine. You see
okay, let's do it like this.
You see what?
Rapeseed oil. Yeah, let's do it like that.
Raw, man. Man went to the seed oil, you know.
Okay, so he got accused of rapeseed oil minus the seed oil.
This episode is going to be too funny, fam. Yeah. All right, let's go.
So he was accused of that. And I think they actually reached a settlement where she got $20 million or something like that. Oh,
mad. So she's already been paid.
Amount. Yeah, so he came out and basically showed some voicemails and some text messages that didn't show this young lady in the best of lights. Okay. So
doing a lot of moonwalking right now, but okay,
yeah. We have to, fam.
Okay.
So basically he shared some screen grabs, and on receiving them, the lady's lawyer, solicitor in this country, but lawyer was like, I'm excusing myself from this case.
Why?
When your lawyer turns their back on you,
you know the deal.
Yeah.
You know the deal.
It's peak, innit? So basically, one of the messages, said, I want to fuck you tonight at midnight. When I read this, the first thing that came to my mind is, who sets a time?
Jordan Peterson.
Pow! Yeah, but that's that's organized, innit? That sounds like some witch thing, innit? Like at midnight.
Oh, like she's pulling up.
Don't it sound weird?
Bro,
if a girl dinged you, and was like, I want to have sex with you, and she was like, but at midnight.
Oh no. All right, yeah. So if it seemed like the time was set in it, like that had to be the time.
Yeah, that's what she said. She's like, I wanna fuck you tonight at midnight. Lol. That was the message.
What was it? New Year's or something?
Bro.
Okay, I don't know.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. The way that
I'm getting witchy vibes.
Yeah, all right.
Getting witchy vibes.
The way that you're describing it, yeah, it's like that, innit? But but coming from a busy person, innit? If you ain't stating times, innit, like you might come, I might not be there, innit? So it's just a waste of your journey, innit?
Yeah, fair enough. I suppose Chris Breezy's a busy guy.
Yeah. Like imagine you was just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna pull up to Chris Breezy's and he's not even there. He's a DJ Khaled or something. You're gonna be pissed.
Yeah, it's true, innit? And he's gonna be like, talk to me normal. You know? So, and then another one, she was like, you're the best I've ever had, innit? Bro, I'm a grown man. I'm just gonna say it, innit? Like YouTube, yeah, bun you, innit?
I knew this was not gonna last, man.
So basically,
I knew that. So, and listen, yeah, YouTube, free up the peas for the people who talk the real. You get me?
So yeah, she was like, basically, like, you honestly the best dick I've ever had, innit? So and I just want it again. That's what she said. Now, those messages do not coincide with somebody who's had the rape seed, innit? I'm going to use that word because... You know,
I hear you.
So, it doesn't correlate. Do you feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So, he's...
No rape seed flowing, you get me?
Fam, it's mad, innit? So, then his friend, one of Chris Brown's friends, played a voice clip in it, and she was like, I just want to see you again. Let me know if you want me to leave you alone, but I just really want to fuck with you again. So, obviously, it's looking like it's big cap in it. So,
does he get his piece back?
So he said he's looking to recoup in it.
Yeah, reopen the case.
Yeah, have it done. So it must have mean that they settled. I don't know how you could get 20 million. I don't know whether it's completed the case. But the way it sounds like is that she was awarded $20 million. Yeah. Now she gonna give it all back.
But the thing is, whether she got that is a different. You get 20 mil. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true.
And you were shady from the start, and that's what you wanted, fam. You're straight to Balenciaga and that. Do you know what I'm saying? Yo,
Cayman Islands and all of that.
Yeah. You're dialing up all your girls like, we did it. We got the W. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's so gross, bro.
Yeah.
So then Chris Brown posted, no more dragging me through the mud. Clearly, you can all see the cap. Now, let's see if the media will keep that same energy they had trying to destroy me. Run the real story. Chris, we hear you. We're running the real story.
No. One second. We are not the media. We are the people. You get me? So first of all, let me tell you that, innit?
Hey, that's fact.
Second of all, with the media, they ain't running no real story, and you know that, Breezy.
Yeah, that's why you had to do it.
Yeah, that's why you had to do it. But as Sammy said, we support you. We're out here. The people got you. Run the real story. My lady's trying to get a bag, trying to get a Birkin. You get what I'm saying?
Multiple Birkins. You know how many Birkins you can buy for 20?
Fam.
So then he said, me and my legal team are taking action on this situation. You don't play with people's lives like that.
Yeah, trust me.
That's facts. So those are the informations for you, everyone out there, for yourself. And so my first question to you, yeah? The first question we're going to chop up is this. Do you think women feel entitled to men's bodies?
Oh, mad.
Oh, yeah, we go in there.
I feel like I've already answered this, but I think, yeah, I think so. I think because guys have a bad rap for never turning it down, so it's just like, it's like a default position that the man's going to want whatever you've got to offer, innit? When there's some of you offering nothing but cheese and onion, you get me?
Wow.
Then is what it is, innit? But same with Mandem, innit? Like, bro, like some girls could get at me, innit? Like, raw, like your hair, like you got 2 teeth missing. Yeah, I hate like,
I'm Mr. Zara.
Bro, like, I don't care. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what makes me who I am, innit? Like, whatever you think, that's your business, isn't it? The hell? But like, yeah, I think there is a level of entitlement. It seems that because for all the like quote unquote good women, innit? Yeah. It's seen that technically most of that is taken from like biblical, innit? Proverbs 31, innit? So someone who cooks, someone who looks after their household, someone who's childbearing, like someone not childbearing like that, but someone who's a good child bearer, or someone who can raise children, someone who I don't know, like allows her husband to lead, you know, and someone who's submissive, like all of that stuff, innit? But let's be honest, innit? Bare gal nowadays don't want to be that. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's not cap about it, innit? Especially
and it's
like
whether your man wants you to be like that as well.
I mean, and again, as you said, some men don't even want that, cause that kind of virtuous woman that they're talking about ain't holding no strap. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't really get to a stage where there's a strap in the building. So if you need someone to hold a strap, then Proverbs 31's out of the window for you. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? So, and similarly,
so like take it to the pastor.
Yeah, exactly. But there's girls who
will hold it for you,
who will hold it and tell you that no, I'm real. They'll still turn up to church on Sunday as well.
Of course,
bearing in mind, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's
praying you don't catch a case.
Yeah. But that's how it be, innit? So if that's the case, then like there are females, for me personally, who have abandoned those type of morals, innit? And as we know, the contention for a lot of females has always been, but guys get to sleep around. Why is there a double standard? Why is it that you should see you sleeping around as the top thing to do, but me sleeping around as I'm down in the dirt? Like, it doesn't make any sense, innit?
And you know what, this brings me, I'm really sorry, I can't remember the podcast episode that this conversation happened on. But this lady was talking about how ridiculous it is that men cheat in the capacity that they cheat. Because she was like, men, you're going to do it for like your 20 minutes, 30 minutes, some man 5 minutes, innit? And then after that, you got one round more and then you're done. Like you're cancelled out the game.
Drink Henny. Not drinking.
Yeah.
Well, I'll play. Yeah,
however, with women, they can experience multiple orgasms. Do you feel what I'm saying? So they get more out of the transaction.
Yeah.
You know, I think that lady was missing a massive point in terms of like the risk of childbearing is not the same. Like the burden of childbearing is not the same for men than it is for women. So men's proclivity to do what they're doing and slide out, literally, means that they don't necessarily worry because they're not going to have to deal with the side effects of pregnancy. They're not going to have to deal with the mental aspects of having an abortion. Yeah. So, and it's a bit mad.
And as time goes on, sorry, do you want to finish your
point? No, go on.
I was going to say, and as time goes on as well, innit? Men are, obviously you do have situations where men become infertile, innit? But like, that's not as common now, especially with current medicine and the way that we're managing stuff. So that means that a female's body clock shuts down after a certain time. It's just not good to have children after a certain point, innit?
More risks, innit?
More risks, innit? High risks. But for guys, as you said, we don't have that. So I think, not to say that it's right or anything like that, but I'm just saying that's the way it plays out naturally, innit?
Everybody thinks that their thing has more reason to do something, and people think that it's equal. The relationship between men and women is an equal one, and it isn't. That I just don't think it is. I think that when you look at confrontation, the end result, like the end pinnacle of all confrontation is violence. Like when everything breaks down, you get violence, right? So when you can't communicate with somebody, when you really dislike somebody, you follow the steps down the road, you get to violence. And so you have this disparity that's always underlying that your man in that environment, if it breaks down all the way, can be violent to you. And it's not the same. Everyone can tell me, yeah, but Amanda Nunes, innit? But Amanda Nunes can't fight Francis Ngannou.
Yeah, very true.
Do you feel what I'm saying? So for me, I just think that that's something that needs to be accepted. And I'm not saying use that as a tool for men to behave in all sorts of reckless ways. Because you know what they say, with great power comes great responsibility. And I don't even pull it down to power. I just think you have to acknowledge the things that you do. So if you're somebody who studies Muay Thai, it's on you to regulate yourself when you go out into the world to make sure that you don't seriously injure someone.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't take up Kung Fu and then just start fly kicking people in the back. Like, yo, that's fun. You don't do that.
Yeah,
you regulate yourself, and actually you try and teach yourself to be less violent because you understand the implications of your
violence,
of your violence. And I think that should happen with people as well. Everyone has particular tools. So you might be very gifted at speaking, and you can use that gift to uplift people, and get people to feel great about their lives.
Okay, yeah.
And you can use it to swindle and con. And do you understand what I'm saying?
True,
yeah. And so you have to make a decision what you're going to use that skill for. And I think it's the same. Like with women, you have reproductive organs that mean that if anything like goes wrong in terms of sexual intercourse, the end result is that you end up with a child. In most cases, you need to pattern your life around that. That's something that happens. Not that men shouldn't
do what they do. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Men shouldn't just sleep around. Like, you have to prepare yourself. You understand what I'm saying? And the same for guys. Like, if you don't want children out there with your DNA, strap up.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing.
It's just like when I look at things, I just see a blame game, bro.
And that's why I think you're right, and I tend to agree with you, because I feel like the situation in certain elements in it, not all elements, is pretty simple in it, and it's accountability. If I become a millionaire, a multi-millionaire, I have to understand, that on the streets, with people doing whatever they're doing, they're making money. There's low people who are lower than them financially who want their money, innit? How much more someone who is a multi-millionaire? How much more do people want your money? Yeah. So then, if I just go through life and I'm like, well, I hear what you're saying, but to me, maybe I don't actually need to protect this money I'm earning. Cause I got a lot of G's around me. Everybody's my G, innit? So you don't protect your money. You leave your money around the place. When all of my money gets taken, and you say, Don, what did you do with your money? And I said, well, we made like 17 grand off a show, and my G put it on the table, innit? I was kind of tired, so I just went to bed, innit? You'd be like, are you an idiot that you left 17 G's on the table in a yard and just went to bed? No assurance of it, no nothing. You would expect me to protect my asset, and that's all we're saying, innit? So I think there are some things in it, obviously, things like domestic violence in it, like you can't really protect your asset there, innit? As we said, you've got somebody who is physically stronger than you, innit? So we're not talking about that, but we're just talking about there are steps in life where the more accountability we take, the easier it will be to remedy some of the situations that we have, or the dilemmas that we have as people. Because
going back to the initial question, innit? I think it's interesting because I feel like there's an entitlement both ways, innit? Where men think that they're entitled to a woman's body, innit?
Yeah.
And women consequently think that as well. But I think the women, their reaction when you say no is mad.
Yeah. But
you get called all sorts of... What? You don't like women?
Yeah,
no, I don't like you.
Mad.
You in particular.
There we
go. You
go.
feel me? Like, so...
Really is that sometimes, and I
think it's an ego thing. Like,
but I think the hardest part, and maybe some people might say, that man's dragging it a bit, innit? But for me, I think that men have always had that entitlement. Do you know what I'm saying? It was enshrined in law at one point that you were the property of your husband. Do you see what I'm saying? So there's a slight difference in it. Like, I feel like the female entitlement comes from not wanting to be suppressed in the way that they've been suppressed, and understanding that they are people too who have equal rights. Do you know what I'm saying? Which is a proper serious argument. But I think for the men as well, it's kind of always been like, well, this is how you are. This is what it is to be a man. Do you know what I'm saying? This is what should happen. This is what the law requires of you. This is what your family requires of you. And that's very, very different from just choosing. Do you see what I'm saying? So, when Henry VIII decided to change the law so he could marry, that is not something at the time that a woman could have done.
And the religious constitution of the country too.
Yeah, which was covered in patriarchy.
That's crazy.
So when we talk about these things, like, I know that it's very easy to be like, oh yeah, well, you know, of course you would say that you're a man, or, you know, oh, this sounds very like marginalistic, if there's even a word, like, you know, you're just marginalizing people, you know, and we're the oppressed group. But actually, it's actually coming from history. You know, for the history of a man has been that he owns his woman. Now, that's not to say that it's something I agree with.
In the West,
yeah,
in particular, yeah.
Yeah, but in the West. But even in some parts of Africa, they still haven't got over that. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
but some people might say that's the indoctrination of
the West.
Yeah, especially religion.
Possibly.
I tend to think that people who talk to a time beyond Western colonization, they romanticize. A bit like people who said, yeah, you know, we used to live amongst the birds and the trees and and get sepsis and die, you know, and your kids lived until they were 5 years old, so you had to have 10 of them. Yeah, that's not great. Yeah, you know, like this romanticization of the time before, even like, and you didn't even get to experience it. You, your granddad, and your great great granddad didn't experience that life before, and somehow you know about how great it was, you know. So I don't always agree with them type of things, but I do understand where you're coming from. It's a linear philosophy that is being shaken up, especially in the last like 50 years.
Yeah.
You know, and it's seen women take back some of their ownership of themselves. You know, it's like, I don't need you to look after me.
Yeah.
I'm more than capable of looking after myself, which is, for me, is refreshing because there's a lot of men who are not deserving of the companionship of a woman right now, and they feel entitled. They watch too much porn, they listen to too much Kevin Samuels, and they think that they're entitled, you know, to, because they only listen to one side, because Kevin Samuels talks about you being settled as a man. How much do you make? And if you don't make that, and they never listen to that. No, you know, they're just like, I'm a alpha male. This whole, bro, I don't know if you've heard about this thing. It's called the manosphere, innit? And they talk about red pill men. You know, it's bonkers. You know, it's like basically the world has been, I'm paraphrasing, but it's like the world has leaned in the favor of women, and men have to make a conscious decision to reassert their dominance, innit? And that's the red pillars, innit? Super alpha males who go and they earn a lot of money and they can wow women and stuff like that. A lot of the guys who teach this are whole nonsense, innit? And most of the time, they're not charismatic enough to walk up to a woman and talk to them as a person. They have to say like, yo, I'm getting into my Lamborghini. Yeah, I'm staying at this hotel, that hotel. So they're like rappers, bro. A lot of rappers can't talk to women. Yeah, they cannot talk. You see them talk to women like without money, bro. Like,
yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Bro, like you got your charisma's on the floor.
But I feel like that with a lot of people, not even just man them, innit? Like I feel like people are losing the art of charisma because of the fact that they
drip, innit?
Yeah, like it's just mad. Like even with me as well, yeah. Like 'cause I have to be honest with myself, innit? Like 'cause more time since the pandemic, I've been staying in and stuff. I got to re-link up with some people and just be like, yeah, let's have like normal convo, because you can forget the art of conversation. Oh yeah, like you can. That especially now when we talk about everyone wants to be their own entrepreneur, build their own business. Sometimes your head could be so in the books, just doing, that your relationships with people become business relationships and not actually relationships, isn't it? And you have to be careful of that. Cause before long, you can end up just ordering everybody, innit? Like your wife is like, oh yeah, go make the food, and you just see it as a process. Like your life is this process, innit? But actually, that person needs love, needs affection, needs like her husband to be there for her. And you're just like, you're so in the zone, go like, yeah, babes, like, I'm going to be home at 3, so can you make sure the dinner's done and that, like, love you, bye. Do you get what I'm saying? Boom, quick ting, do you get what I'm saying? But really, there's nothing there, innit? It's just like, I'll come home from work, I will need to eat, I watch TV, I go sleep, I say hi to my wife, I go back to work. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think I'm really...
But then when you find your wife on all fours, you're acting like you're surprised. Like you don't know what happened.
And that's the thing. It's mad, isn't it?
You know?
But I think...
Because people crave intimacy.
100%.
You know these trolls like that are online? They come online and they just say wild stuff. They want people to talk to them. Yeah. And they don't know how to talk to people. So that's the only way they know how to get a reaction. So they're just like, yo, I'm going to go post something and cuss a bunch of people. And you see it because sometimes like you don't respond and they'll start having a war with themselves. Yeah. Do you feel what I'm saying? Just because just because they decided to do that, innit? So yeah, it's difficult, innit? I think, and everything's geared towards like now being a grinder, innit? Like everything's work. Make sure you secure that bag, and you look online and everybody's rich, innit?
And you
Everyone's
feel like
buying planes and all this and jewelry, and you're like, raw, like, what going for me though? Like, you know,
but even for the playing guys and all the rest of it, like they feel entitled. Do you know what I'm saying? They put in all these years grinding, and they're like, when do I get to have fun? Do you know what I'm saying? And I personally believe that's why so many people go for the roles, isn't it? So when you're saying, oh, like, do we feel entitled to each other's bodies? Like, of course we do. A successful woman, like, some of them will turn around and like just tell you straight, like, what? Like, guys don't turn me down. Like, what do you mean? Like you don't want all of this? And it's just like, no, I have somebody at home. Or like, you know, or you're not my type. Or like,
I had cereal, so I'm feeling a bit bloated. You know, just
you know, but it's mad. And then guys the same way, innit? Like, you know, when they make money and they feel like they're Christian Grey, do you get what I'm saying? They start dusting off their shoulders. So yeah,
it's crazy because we're seeing a rise of especially male celebrities being in the papers for, you know, Dizzy. It happened to Dizzy recently, and
some of them are young. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, they're young, still trying to figure out life. Do you know what I'm saying? But just the money come quick, the lifestyle's fast.
I think that's what it is. I think nowadays, the goal is to be young and rich.
Yeah.
But you're an idiot. Do you feel what I'm saying? Like, imagine you're a professional footballer, yeah? You turn 20 years old, and somebody says, I'm going to pay you 80 bags a week.
Yeah, it's wild, It is wild, bro.
You get unfettered access. Let's say 21, innit? So you got unfettered access to clubs. Holy Pagal know who you are. And they know you're rich. You can sleep with anyone. You drive a balling car.
You can fly anywhere.
Go anywhere.
Say anything to anyone.
Take any drug.
Yeah, bro. It's wild.
What's going to happen to your life if you don't have guidance?
Yeah, it's mad.
You feel what I'm saying? So I think there needs to be like we're seeing these young boys and they're getting caught in a bunch of stuff, and we're like, the older generation are on shade bar wagging their finger instead of mentoring. And
I feel like the media doesn't help, innit? Like, I saw a headline.
The media's trash.
I saw a headline from the Daily Mail, innit, that was talking about like Peter Andre's son, innit? And it was just like, like surprised at how like gangster he is or something like. I'm thinking, right, but what are you guys saying? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, what you're gonna paint in a Pablo Escobar or something? Like, come on, bro. Like, are you Daily Mail? Are you stupid?
But they have a narrative, and of course they do. This is why people are moving towards podcasts. Subscribe if you ain't subscribed.
And man can say,
you know, because we don't have a political agenda. We don't have an agenda, bro. We're just two brothers chopping it up.
And do you know what the maddest thing about that whole story was, That man's met Pete Andre's son. Coolest guy, bro. Like, what are you talking about, fam? Gangster. Like, what? Like, he's just trying to build his career in a certain way. Obviously, he likes a certain look and that what he should be pinning like. But
but you know, it's the same media institution, that has glorified the Cray brothers. Do you feel what I'm saying?
Very true.
And so you know that there's a narrative that's being spun, and I think more people are becoming immune to traditional media. New media we haven't figured out yet. We're still getting caught with like fake news and all of this stuff in it. But traditional media is so blatant that you have an agenda, you don't write objectively, and it's out there for everyone to see. And look, sometimes it's not about being objective. Like, for me, I've had a certain lifestyle. I talk a certain way. I break bread with certain types of people. And that's my life. So, of course, I'm going to be skewed in one way. I make no apologies for that because I have to give that side to it. You know, somebody who's gone a different way, they have to speak in their thing. You know what I'm saying? So, like, somebody could say like nobody, like people should not roll with weapons, innit? Then you sit down with somebody, he's like, bro, the time I left mine at home, I got stabbed 3 times. changes your whole perspective.
Yeah, no facts.
Do you feel what I'm saying? But this is with podcasts and that you got the willingness to sit and listen. You know, have you ever heard like a conversation on any of the traditional media platforms? Bruv, it's mad.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, so is this what you're trying to say? Or is that what you're trying to say? But don't you think that... Like, bro, that's not a conversation. That's an interrogation.
Yeah. Facts.
We're not here for interrogations. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you've seen the one with Trevor Noah. There's this thing with Trevor Noah where this lady is trying so hard to get him to admit that he had this bit about chocolate. About how his mum, he saw people in chocolate in it. And his dad's Swiss and his mum's like South African. And so it's like, rah, you know, the Swiss love the chocolate. I'm ruining the bit in it, but that was the nuts and bolts of it. And this lady's trying to say, like, Lenny Henry said that he would no longer be doing things about equating black people with chocolate. Don't you think that you should do the same thing? And he's trying to explain that there's context. And she's like, but don't you think you should do the same thing as Lenny Henry? And he's like, I'm not Lenny Henry. Yeah, but Lenny Henry said, do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, this is a dumb interview. Do you feel what I'm saying? Like, this is like, are you telling me you're an actual journalist? Bro. You went to school. You went to university and got in debt. And that's how you interview people.
It's mad.
Crazy. But let's get back onto the topic.
All right, let's go.
I got some more questions. How do you...
Right, we're going to be doing spirit hands all up in the camera like that, yeah. Yo, wild. Nah, joking. Let's go.
So, we talked a little bit about, like, rejection, innit? So, like, how have you managed rejection in these streets, innit? Because I feel like... Okay, so, you know when I was younger, yeah?
Yeah.
You had guys who were, like, who go to talk to a girl. And the girl will be like, nah, I'm not interested in it. He's like, suck your mum, bro.
That could never be me. Hey, you know, like when Meek said so, like, he's got some line in it, like, where he's talking about, like, the new school rappers and how they'd be up on camera waving a gun in it. Like, their mums didn't teach them no manners and that. Yeah, that's me on that situation, isn't it? Like, what, like your grandma didn't teach you how to step correct or something like that.
Because the reason I asked that question is because it looks like this lady, yeah, got vexed that Chris Brown wasn't hitting her back up.
Yeah, but you're not entitled to that. And
but this is what I'm saying. It's like, how do you deal with rejection?
And so, like, for me, like, it's wild, isn't it? Because I never like rejection, so I just don't do things that I feel like are gonna get me that public humiliation, innit? Like, I always say to people, if you got a problem with me, innit, like, come, we can sort it out, innit? Like, you don't need to be out there, innit? But I know that some people like, you know, they like the glitz and the glamour, whatever. People, everybody jumping into a situation, their side versus my side and whatever. But I just don't care about that stuff, innit? So I'm not going to put myself in a situation to be publicly shamed, innit? And if I am, yeah, like, I'm definitely just going to hold that L and just be like, all right, cool, that's just the L that man has to take, innit?
I went through a time in my life, yeah, where everything I put on a pedestal. So, like, if I went for my driving test, it was like the most important thing on the world. Yeah. And it made me super anxious. And the same was like talking to girls, innit? It made me super anxious because I put it all on this pedestal. Yeah. And I remember this one summer, it was like a summer. And then I was watching, like, and I saw a pretty girl there, pretty girl there, pretty girl there, pretty girl there. I'm like, pretty women are everywhere. They're everywhere.
And you know what's mad, yeah?
So, and literally all the weight dropped off me, innit? And now, obviously, as an adult, and before I started talking to Rox and that, I just clocked that, like, women are human beings. Like,
yeah, of course,
you know, and as a teenager, I know it sounds weird, innit? But it's like, you don't see women like that. Like, especially like your first sort of girlfriend or first date or whatever, because you're always thinking, because the man them hype up losing your virginity so much, everything's about, like, make sure she's the one that takes it. Do you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, and then it's easy to grow up and never lose the connection between women and sex. Like, them being just sexual conduits for your own pleasure.
Yeah.
But I went through a stage where I was like, actually, women are people.
Mm.
Like, I just talk to a woman like a person.
Do you know what I realized as well?
You build better bonds.
Mm.
You know, I feel like, especially if you want to be intimate with somebody, it's way better if they're a friend.
Yeah,
like you know them a bit more. Do you feel what I'm saying? Like, obviously, as a man, sometimes the spontaneity of like flings and stuff is fun. Yeah. But I think if you're trying to build meaningful relationships and trying to have meaningful intercourse, it's better when you know the person.
And I think, you know,
and that sounds corny to these
obviously it probably does,
young dons, but it's bro, like
they won't be saying that when they want somebody to settle down with and they're looking for the qualities that are being addressed right now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, as you said, in it, fast life is fun, innit? Nice cars, big whips, do you get what I'm saying? Lengos. Like,
but these bad bees, bro, like, they're the ones who are gonna say that, yeah, you did something.
Yeah, and not even that.
Well, they're gonna post you when you're sleeping.
It's mad, bro. Like,
you know, take a picture, you think, click, and then gonna be, you know, blackmailing you for money.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Blackball.
Yeah, fam. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, that whole situation is wrapped in it. That will never be, like, in God's name, in it. Like, that will never be me, in it. I just, like, I like things chill, in it. I don't really like all this mad stuff, in it. I don't feel like anybody is entitled to anything, in it. I think, man, you need to hold up your side when it comes to cooking. Do you know what I'm saying? And cleaning, busting down the yard, innit? The girl needs to hold down her situation, innit? She have to be able to cook and bust down the yard. You have to make your bread. She has to make her bread.
I think I think it comes down to communication. Like, some people have strengths,
of course,
outside of the gender norms that they've been assigned.
Yeah, of course.
So, for example, like, you might actually find that your woman has better knowledge of finance and saving than you. You might make more money, but she knows how to make it spread more. Makes sense to talk to her about how you can spread your money more.
Do you know what would be interesting to figure out, whether, if your girl was a cold baller, would most men allow their girl to teach them football? Because it's such a male-dominated sport, isn't it?
Is.
But if your girl's a better baller, she's a better baller. Do you get what I'm saying? If you want to get into the sport, would you allow your woman to teach you football? Yeah,
it's like that. I think her name's Liz, isn't it? Liz, she's a street baller. I'm really sorry, I can't remember her full name, innit? But bro, she's out here nutmegging every man on the street. She's there training with Roberto Carlos and all the rest of it, bro. She's dope. If that's your, but it depends. Like,
I know a lot of men with pride. Yeah, like, why?
I mean, obviously it's context specific. It's like, why am I learning to play ball? Am I trying to be a baller? Yeah, I think you always wanted to kick ball, in it, but you got no attackers, in it. You see, for me, that I don't care about that.
Okay,
because it's like, if I'm trying to be a baller and the girl that I'm dating is better than me, you better learn. Learn from everybody, bro. I don't care if the kid's like, do you think that someone who's older than Phil Foden can't learn from Phil Foden's game because he's younger? Bro, learn from the man. We're here to learn. I don't care where who it comes from. If you're kicking wisdom and you're kicking knowledge that I can take on, man's gonna take that. Why am I? Oh, you're a girl, so I can't do that.
But I feel like that's the way that we've gone, innit? Like, those petty, minute things. Like, come on, bro, we're having conversations about who makes jollof rice better, innit? And all they're funny and it's bants, innit? Yeah, like, we got proper issues to address than jollof rice, innit? If you don't like Nigerian jollof rice, just don't buy Nigerian jollof rice. So learn how to make, like, Ghanaian jollof rice. Like, what are we even talking about here, bro? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got Chinese people up in your gold mines, and what you're going to talk about is who makes better jollof. You lot are mad. Do you know what I'm saying? Crazy out here.
Hey, listen, it's easy, you know, and it's the same thing that like government officials do as well. I won't touch on politics in it, but there are things that are really easy to talk about, and there are things that are really difficult to talk about.
Yeah,
and sometimes the easier things, they're more salacious too, innit? So it's like you can gain a very visceral response by talking about a particular topic in a particular way. And then if you talk about something else, it's like, we can't solve that, so that's boring and depressing. It's kind of like music. I remember when I was making music, I remember I did traffic lights. And I was showing it to my boss at the time. And this time Drake was popping. Is when he was doing songs with Trey Songz and all the rest of it.
Okay, yeah.
And he was like, why don't you make songs like that? And I was like, but don't, like, these are issues that people face, innit? And he's like, but they're facing them. They don't want to hear that in their music. Like, imagine your life is hard. And it's bare hard, it's bare depressing, innit? Do you want to listen to somebody reinforcing your sadness? Or do you want to hear about somebody turning up, having a good time? I got jewels and I came from the same area you did, so you can get jewels too. It's difficult, innit?
Yeah.
You know, and so I think that a lot of the time because there's always like two camps amongst black people. There's like the bougie academics who are just like, rap music is not good for the culture and stuff like that. And, you know, we need to learn how to rise above it. I don't know why I suddenly went into that voice, innit? But you have that. And then you have people who are like, these are the block, fam. And actually, we believe in the block mentality so much, you shouldn't rap if you've not done no crimes. You understand what I'm saying? Like, rap is not allowed to be just a creative sphere for your lies. Have a body, have prison time, and we're good. And the answer is like somewhere in the middle, right? Because you need tales like that to teach people how to be street smart. And you need to know that people who look like you, who came from the same area, who talk mad like you talk, can make it to boardrooms and be successful. Fair. But you also need to know that listening to a certain type of music all the time has implications on how you see the world.
Of course.
You know, so it's all about balance, isn't it? In my opinion. And I think the more that you listen to, we talked about this with AU.
Yeah.
The amount of different things you listen to shape your thinking pattern. Yeah, of course. Innit? So it's man, it's a bit of a mad one still. But I think we got to take each topic as it comes. And I think there are people who are drawn towards specific topics. Yeah. You know, me, I've always been like a motivator. And a motivator not in a sense where it's like, yeah, you have the power to do anything you want. Yay. You know, it's more like, bro, like, what else are you going to do with your damn life? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be the person who changes the direction of your family forever. Well, not forever. Like, look, most people who are rich, insanely rich, that only lasts about 3 generations. Yeah. But that's 3 generations, bro. And maybe you get 4 or 5 because the generation after you get smarter. Maybe it's just for your generation, but you change your family dynamic by doing that, you know. And I think that's most important. And so, like, for me, I don't want to hear about like the sad aspect of that, you know, because if you're lazy, you're gonna be sad as well. Do you feel what I'm saying? Like,
it's sad and lazy,
bro. You're gonna be sad if you don't treat yourself in the right way. You're gonna be sad. So, and I'm not saying like, cry in a Lexus or whatever, and I mean cry in a Range Rover and stuff like that. You know, a lot of people say that. I think, me personally, I would do that. Because everybody who says, oh, you know, you gotta think about saying that, you know, there's a lot of stress that comes with them. It's like, okay, this is what we're going to do, People like to say it. People like Gary Vee, give away 60% of your net worth right now because you don't need money to be happy, right? Everybody who says that to you got money.
Very true.
Right? Have you ever heard somebody like on Dole, struggling to make payments, say like, you know what? I would take this over having money.
I mean, it doesn't happen often.
I mean, obviously, there are people who will say that,
but it's not enough to be a generalized statistic.
Bro, listen, my thing is, if you've got demons and you got money, you got demons, bro. You know?
If you got demons and you're broke, you still got demons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're a happy person and you get money,
you're still happy.
You're going to be overall more happy. Obviously, it comes with more stress. Deal with tax man. And another thing is you deal with like this existential threat of I could lose everything and go back to you know. And I think if you're somebody who's able to just enjoy your life, and I know it's easier said than done, because right now we're like,
what, in this grinding stage,
like we're philosophizing, innit? Like, so we're imagining a set outcome.
But I don't think that, because I'm like, we're not philosophizing, we're actually doing it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we're trying to build a community. We're trying to be business owners. Clearly, we've got our own podcast, and we're having fun as brothers while doing it. So it's not impossible. Like, I always say to people that when they ask me about how busy I am, like last time, I think it was like 3 days ago, I clocked 2 hours sleep. 2 hours, my brother. 2 hours, fam. That's what my thing's saying. 2 hours, that's what you did for sleep. And I know it's not good, innit? Like, I'm not an idiot. I know that 2 hours sleep is nowhere near what you're recommended. But I'm enjoying the journey of life. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm proper enjoying it. And so when I get to the destination that I need to get to, all right, yeah, we had a few rough, bumps in the road. But I can look back and say, actually, you see this journey, it's been a movie, innit? And for me, that's what I just wish that everybody could live in, innit? Like, not worry so much about, like, bad times are going to come. You're not going to submit an assignment on time, innit? Someone's not going to be necessarily messing with you, innit? Like, you thought they were cool, they're not cool anymore, whatever. You thought that this was the girl you were going to be with forever, whatever, bro. Like, your life never stops. Do you know what I'm saying? Until it actually stops. And when it stops, you will know about it. Like, people, like, do you want people to mourn you? Do you know what I'm saying? Do you want an actual funeral? Did people care about you enough to speak on your name after you're not here, innit? Like, as well. Well as well. What does it mean to leave a legacy? Like, you can do all of that, or you can, like, be seriously depressed. Because there's enough stuff in the world to be depressed about. In fact, there's more stuff nowadays, isn't it, to be depressed about. But if that's your sphere that you're going to occupy, when we think about the world as it exists and the life path and the trajectory that every single person can actually possibly make, innit? Because whether you're from a poor life, there's other people who are poor who are watching you. Whether you're from a rich life, there's other people who are rich who are watching you, When you look at the trajectory, you are meeting nowhere near the capability of what you could possibly achieve. And I think that's just a work that a person needs to do within themselves. Like, I've got friends who have lost like a lot of weight and seen the benefits of that. The world is fickle. That's a negative. We know that. But that person losing all the weight and getting all the attention from, guys, from people, you shouldn't do it for that. But that's a boost for some people. Makes them keep going every single day. How is that a negative thing? Do you get what I'm saying? But you want to worry about the fact, for the trolls, it's like, oh, you only jumped onto her when she became skinny. And then for like some other people, it's like, oh, you was a better friend when you was fat. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, what the hell, innit? Like, you just have to do what's helpful for you and just keep it moving, innit? Like, that's my thing, innit? So,
no, I think so, because, and like I say, context means a lot. And I think that's one of the things that is missing in our conversations, in the way that we approach things as well. Because you're not saying necessarily, some people are saying you're more attractive when you're skinny. But some people, quite like myself, think the dedication that it took for you and the discipline that you took in order to get from your point A to your point B, that's what's attractive. And some people misconstrue it. And they just think it's like, oh, well, she's skinny now, so they must like her because she's skinny. And then you remove the entire context. I think that happens a lot in our conversations. Like, people just willingly remove the context in order for something to fit like a particular narrative. Because then the next step into that is, of course you would do that because you're a member of the patriarchy. Oh, where did that come from? And so, because if you say that you value somebody because they did it through their own intentions, and you saw them as an individual implementing discipline and willpower, that removes that removes this idea of the patriarchy, right? Because what you're saying is a woman is competent enough to employ discipline in order to take her life from one thing to another thing because she wanted to do it.
Yeah, so like let's talk about the Chris Brown situation, yeah? So Chris Brown situation, the reason why I'm out here commending my man, yeah, is not because he scored one for the City Boys, isn't it? Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's not the reason why. It's because in order to restore balance, it's important that we highlight issues where females chase the bag as well. You know, where they do snide things, when they're conniving. Do you know what I'm saying? That's not just a man trait, although the media likes to spin it like that sometimes. You know, that yeah, you're the guy, and every guy takes advantage of every pretty girl. You know, yes, these things do happen, but it happens on both sides. Ain't nobody winning when people do this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, she got the bag. Now she's thinking about, does she have to return the bag? Do you know what I'm saying? If she got kids, yeah, it's funny, innit? Like, yeah, she's returning the bag, innit? Like, dumb. But do you know what I'm saying? If she's got kids, now her kids have seen her be up for a minute and down the next and lie and be dragged by the public. That's what her kids have seen. Now, some people may be like, oh, yeah, that's cool, innit? But to me, that's not cool. Like, what does that do to another generation, innit? If she has kids, innit? If she doesn't have kids, then she's got family. She's got a mum who gave birth to her. Do you get what I'm saying? And yeah, everything's not so serious, innit? Like, we can have bants sometimes, but sometimes we just have to consider the implications of what we actually do.
A person's actions.
And then what happens later down the line in terms of our culture. Do you see what I'm saying? Because this is everything that we've done up to today as people has influenced the way that we manage today. I was speaking to we were speaking about it earlier, innit? My generation was like petrol scooters, do you get what I'm saying? Mini motors. You think that hasn't had an effect on e-scooters today? Of course it has.
Like, look at the sci-fi things from our day. Yeah. A lot of those things are making their way into our culture now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember Demolition Man.
Yeah.
Where Wesley Snipes comes into the room and he's like, illuminate. And you know, and then the room lights up.
Yeah.
Well, we've got that now through Alexa.
Yeah.
You say, Alexa, turn on the light or whatever.
Yeah.
And so this is what I'm saying. The art, a lot of the time, inspires the culture. And so we have to be careful about what... And obviously, you don't want to restrict and you don't want to censor artistic flair. And nowadays, it's not even just artistic flair, because we have people who are social commentators and they affect the culture as well. So you have to be careful about what you condone and given a balanced picture, which is why I wanted to cover the Chris Brown topic today, although we've gone all over the place like we usually do. With the Chris Brown thing, because we have called out people before, you know, about allegations that have been made about men abusing their power. And I think to restore some balance, it was good to cover a topic like this, not to drag women, because that's never my intention, but to show that people are people, bro. Like, and a lot of the aspects that we like to say belong to this group and belong to that group, they're like next door neighbors, innit? And sometimes, like, you can get oppressive women, you know, women who want to deliberately, like, not physically, but mentally castrate their men. Whenever they say something to their kids, the mum will say, or the mother will say, no, we're not doing that. You know what I mean? Constant undermining. You know, and so that you've got things like wild, that. Bro. Yeah, but then you've also
about stuff like that.
But then you've also got men who say to their wife, shut up and sit down. No one's talking to you.
And that again makes me feel some way as well.
See, but that's just what I'm saying. It's the same behavior, and those behaviors are there because we're human beings. But everybody needs to be responsible for their own emotions and how they manage it. You can't say it's because I'm a man. You can't be out here in the streets hoeing as a man and just be like, it's because I'm a man. No, it's because you're a hoe man. Do you feel what I'm saying? Like, it's because you're a hoe man. Because there are men who exist are not necessarily like that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have an issue with men hoeing around. I actually don't. I don't have a problem with women hoeing around either. I just think you have to be aware of what that's going to do. And there are differences. Men hoeing around, well, maybe you catch something in it. That's bad for you. But women, you have to remember that some men are prideful. Like, I was listening to an interview with Lil Durk, innit? And he was like, listen, I don't care how it comes across, innit? he didn't exactly say that, but he was like, if you're a woman and you got bare bodies, you can't be my woman. So as a woman, you have to remember that some guys actually think like that. Yeah. So again, you might think, well, as a woman,
and you may want that guy.
As a woman, as a person who's a woman, you might think, actually, I don't give a damn. I'm gonna be out here. I'm a sexual being, and that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Okay, but then you have to realize that when you meet somebody, if they ask you, you're gonna be put in a position where either you lie and you start your relationship on dishonesty, or you're truthful and that turns off your potential partner. Like, don't cry about it. Like, just be smart. You know what I'm saying? And so that's my thing.
I hear you.
Yeah, man. And last question before we sign out, yeah. Do you think that women who make these allegations against men deserve long prison sentences? Like, if you come out and or should it be like a civil matter where you have to pay? Because a lot of the time there's a discrepancy, especially when we look at these situations where you've got somebody who, like Chris Brown, who's super rich. We don't know how about this woman. We don't know what assets she has, but typically it's a woman who's trying to get on. She don't have no assets. So I'm going to take her to court and get what? A Birkin that she got from her last rapper friend. Nah, I don't want that. I want money. You feel what I'm saying? So, and then should you be saying like, well, you've accused this man? Because let's really think about it, yeah? When you accuse a man of assault, what happens when you've got a female daughter?
Yeah, it's mad.
People love to like connect the dots, you know? Like, it's not safe for him to be around his daughter. You know, if he's doing that to women, you know, all of his women colleagues, they're going to see him differently. Like, when he hugged them the last time, they're going to think there was something seedy to that because now this new narrative's been written about their friend and their boss or whatever. So you can irrevocably change a man's life and the way that women see him by making those kind of accusations.
Definitely.
So should there be some kind of, I don't want to say retribution in it, but should there be some kind of...
Yeah, I reckon you should hold a fine. I reckon you should hold a big boy fine in it. Yeah, and if you can't...
Like defamation
laws. Yeah, exactly. And if you can't pay the fine, then you get prison time in it. So either or in it.
Or community service.
Yeah, no, community service is too light still.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that, because as we said, innit, you're ruining people's lives, innit? Either you pay the bread to make me comfortable, innit, or you go pen and do time like man them would have done time. You know what I'm saying? People are getting slapped in jail for weed and stuff like that. You're trying to take, like, this is fraud. Do you know what I'm saying? You're trying to... Defamation of character as well, yeah. You know,
because you know what's going to... Like, you see when allegations, things like that come out, yeah? You get dropped.
Yeah.
Like, the next day, you can guarantee that your label drops you, that some of your sponsors part ways, you know, before you're even found guilty in a court of law.
It just depends on the severity of the media input.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But if you're very famous, well, bro.
And whether the people are on your side. If the people are on your side, then like they hold out for a little while before they start dropping you, innit? But the people aren't on your side, fam, you're done, aren't
you? Yeah, it's...
And Chris Brown's had a bad rap. Like, let's not forget that, innit? So, like, you're adding weight to already, do you get what I'm saying, broad shoulders. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, like, that's just unfair, innit? Like, to me as a person, innit?
But I think that's partly why. Because I think people who are manipulative like that, innit? I mean, allegedly, because obviously he posted all of this stuff, but still it's not been through the court, so whatever. But typically, people who are manipulative like that, they look for who they can pin it on. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to do that to someone who's squeaky clean. Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
You're not going to say that about Justin Timberlake, bro. Yeah. You know, because people are going to be like, Justin?
Yeah, nah.
Like, I just don't see it. You know? But you say Chris Brown, oh yeah, he's that guy that whooped Rihanna's ass, innit? It sticks. You know, he's got this bad boy aura, you know? And so manipulative people like that, they look for their mark, innit? It's like that lady who had bro, I'm saying all of these people, I can't even remember their names, innit? But this lady had a baby with a basketball player. And basically a lot of people were coming out of the woodwork and saying like she groomed him because he was proper young. I can't remember her name, bro, and I can't remember his name. This is pointless. But essentially, like, you don't necessarily need to know the characters in it. You just need to know the ins and outs. Yeah. So then she had a baby for him. She's been on camera beforehand talking about how NBA players are dumb and how if you want to secure the bag, you need to go for athletes. I've seen, you know, and so she had a baby with him. Now she ducked out. She don't want to be with him no more. But now he has to pay what? Child maintenance, and he's making big bread. You know, and so she told you the
play. Yeah, I think I saw something.
You know, yeah. She gave you the playbook, and you still fumbled, bro. You know, and so that just it, bro. You know,
things a bit like that as well. Brittany Renner.
I think that's who it is. I think that's who it is. Yeah. So, boy, hold tight, Brittany, innit?
Like, it's wild, isn't it?
I mean, look, she gave people, you know, like how Michael Jordan used to be like, okay, listen, I'm gonna sidestep, then I'm gonna swivel, and then I'm gonna hit a layup, and then somebody's like, yeah, right, and he does exactly what he told you he was gonna do. That's what she did to man. And bro, you should have read the playbook.
Yeah.
You know? So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll wrap it up there.
We're gonna call it a wrap, baby.
Let us know your thoughts about this Chris Breezy thing. Put them in the comments. You know, we like to read everything that gets put down there. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the show. We're trying to make it to 500, hopefully by the end of the year. So any kind of like, share, subscription, it goes a long way. It helps with the algorithm. You know what we're trying to do. And
stop playing games, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what we're trying to do. Like, we're not trying to lie to you out here. You know what we're trying
of course.
To do.
You know, so boss up. You know, the week ahead is there for your taking.
Come on.
So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sammy.
My name is Don.
And we've been the family.
Bow.